So I've come back to the Northwest Computer Museum, but not for a tour of the museum itself. Today they're having a tech jumble sale, so they're selling off some of their surplus items and their doubles to help fund the museum. So let's go inside and see what's on offer. And I thought my Amiga was yellow. That's probably the dirtiest, yellowest Commodore Amiga I've ever seen. We have some PCBs and a Bitronic dev board. Got a case there of Spectrum games. No, there's nothing there that I'm after. Microprocessor MPF. A very early Epson laptop. So there's an old Amstrad PCW computer, complete with monitor. Not sure how much that'll be. And something called the Emma 2. Looks like it's some kind of processor board. More modern laptops. Not interested in those. And a tote full of soundboards and graphics cards. And some floppy disks there. And some more Spectrum games. Oh, Hit Squads. Including Rambo 2, my best performing video this year. There's a nice Amstrad 464, complete with monitor. And speaking of Amstrad, they have an absolute shed load of Amstrad magazines from back in the day. I might have to get a few of these. Two massive tubs full of joysticks, including the Phaser 1. I don't think I've seen that before. Seems to be in good condition. I think I'll pick that up. some Commodore 64s and a few data sets. And they even have an Amstrad PPC 512, which was the first portable IBM PC. In fact, they have two for sale. So that was the Northwest Computer Museum's Tech Jumble sale, and it wasn't bad. There was a lot of items that must have sold already because we got there half an hour after it opened, but there wasn't really anything left that I wanted. So I had visions of me coming away with like 4 or 5 computers and a stack of computer games, but the only thing I would have got was that portable Amstrad PPC 512. And I didn't get it because A, I probably wouldn't use it, and B, I physically have nowhere for it to go. And so this Tech Jumble sale, they were just testing the water to see how they would do, and according to Joe, it did very well, so hopefully there'll be some more in the future. Now, I did come away with a few items. Well, I say a few items, quite a lot of items, but you'll see what I mean in a sec. So I did get 3 Commodore 64 games, and I only realised when I got home they are all from the same company. And all these games are borderline copyright infringements, but it was a time where these game companies didn't really care. So the first one is based on, I think it was Stern who did the original arcade game, and that is Scramble 64. So I think all these games are written in machine code. In fact, it does. It says written in machine code. So they're very basic games, and that was very basic. But it played okay. The sprites were very, very small, like the targets that you have to shoot, but not a bad game. And this next one is another blatant rip-off of an arcade classic. This time, I think it was Data East who did this one. And again, this is written in machine code, and that is Burger Time. And these early games, you don't have to worry about losing the instructions because they're printed on the back, so there's no screenshots anywhere. But that was a lot better and a lot more playable than Scramble 64. So yeah, you play as Jumping Jeff, the fast food chef. I'm not sure what the guy in the original Burger Time arcade game is called, but I'm not sure he's called Jumping Jeff. And your enemies are Mr. Hot Dog and Miss Egg. So there you go. And this last one is based on a classic Nintendo game. And back then there was loads of ports and rip-offs of this game, and this is just one of them, and that is Crazy Kong. And again, the instructions are on the back. Now, I've played some pretty bad ports of Donkey Kong, so there's one called Wally Kong. I've played the official Donkey Kong port on the Spectrum, and that's pretty bad, but this takes the biscuit. Yeah, nice bit of gaming history, but a terrible, terrible game. Now, the other thing I got, you saw me picking this up in the video, and that is the Phaser 1 joystick, which looks like it was inspired by the Conic Speed King, and it looks like a cool joystick, but I tried it out last night. I tried it out on Rambo 2 and 1942, and it's terrible. So it's a really comfy joystick. You know, it's got micro switches in both the stick itself and the fire button. But the thing is, the joystick swivels round. So it's really awkward because you have to hold it really, really tightly. But yeah, it's I didn't know what system this was for, and I tried it on my Commodore 64 and it worked, so it's just for the Commodore 64. I don't think it'll work on the Spectrum without an adapter, and the same with the Amstrad, so I'm just going to keep that. Well, I don't think I'm ever going to use this again because it's a terrible joystick, but I think it was only, it was a £5. And finally, I bought a few items. So you saw me looking at the Amstrad magazines, and I was thinking I don't have any Amstrad CPC magazines. I've got loads of Zap 64, and I've got some Crash magazines and some C&VG, or computer and video games, but I didn't have a single Amstrad magazine. So I was going to buy a few, and then the guy said he would do them for 50p each. So I bought the lot. So I've got 32 Amstrad magazines. Funnily enough, there's only one copy of Amstrad Action, which was like the main Amstrad magazine back in the day. So there's only one copy of Amstrad Action, and the rest are Amstrad Computer User, and where's the other one? CPC Attack. So I've had a quick flick through these, and what I'm going to do is cherry pick some magazines that I want to keep, and the rest I'm going to take to play Blackpool in a few weeks, and see if any of the Amstrad community would like to take them off my hands. So yeah, I don't need 32 Amstrad magazines. So like I said, I'll be at Play Expo Blackpool in a few weeks, and I've been saving myself for this event. So I've not been to a gaming market since May. I think the last one was Birmingham. So I didn't go to Sheffield, I didn't go to London or Liverpool, which was last week. So hopefully at Play Blackpool I'll come away with some great retro items, and hopefully Alan from Forgotten Worlds will have a stall there, because I've not seen him since February at Leeds Gaming Market. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, bye!